Hey, how's it going, Mighty Sandwich? Thanks for dropping by again, as always. Just getting stood up here. I'll try to start on the proper time directly at the hour, or on the hour. Do a little bit of review, then jump right back into our new stuff. How are you all doing out there? Just waiting for more people to come on in. Let's see. Hopefully we actually have full 1080p this time. I realized the last two streams I was downscaling to 720p, so it may have made the text a little harder to read. It looks like we haven't started the captioner yet, so I'll do that. Okay. Should be good now. Yeah, the captioner isn't perfect, but at least it does give you an idea of what I may have said that may have been a little mumbled or unclear. I don't think it's great for programming technical vocabulary, things like that, but it's good enough for general conversation purposes. Actually, I think I need to fix the title of the last archived video because I was intending to support flipping characters on hit, but never got around to it last stream. Okay, it's right at 9 o'clock at our time. I believe it's 8 p.m. out on the East Coast in the U.S., so I guess I'll get started here. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Good morning to you all if you're out here in Asia, but I guess it's evening out there for y'all in the U.S., so I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm just gonna get started here, and last time what we do? Just for as a little review, we did some bug fixing on some hitbox stuff, and we made during idle stance, the standing animation, the characters can always flip and face the opponent. And then we fixed the issue where when a character is facing left, the hitboxes were not actually translated and mirrored, or just mirrored over the axes. And I could just run the game real quick just to show you that. I don't know who was here last time, but just as a quick review, I will demonstrate that really quick so we can start from there. The stream may not take very long today because we're doing something pretty simple. Maybe I'll talk about some stuff and plan after that. But so yeah, one thing we did do is add a debug display with F4, so you can actually see hitboxes. Let me grab my controller here, and then when you attack, you can see that we do get the active attack box. And if I cross over, the characters flip around when I go back to idle. When I'm walking right now, you can see we're not flipping yet. I might change that this stream to go from forward walk to back walk state, but yeah. Okay, and you can hit them and they go that way. Okay, so the thing I did want to demonstrate today is flipping the character when they get hit. Okay, so the basic idea is when the reaction starts, we're going to flip the character at that point, but only during the start. Just in case, say, a character can go back and forth while the character is stuck in reaction, we don't want them continually flipping and switching direction, right? Moving this way, moving that way. That gets very awkward. And we're also going to have to make sure to flip the character before we apply pushback. Otherwise, a character might go in the wrong direction, right? We want them to, for positive pushback, for knockback, we always want the character to be knocked towards the opposite direction they're facing, right? That's the design. Most fighting games follow that design. Some do things a little differently, but that's something we could discuss in the future. Okay, so the basic idea is we need to go into the reaction system and apply that flip, right? At the moment, though, we don't really have a good way to demonstrate it because the characters are automatically flipping during idle. So one thing we can test real quick is turning that off just to see how that works. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is... Oh, also, I want to show you something else real quick. There's another issue we're going to get to in a bit, but I'll just demonstrate it real quick. So I think I mentioned before, we don't go through the idle state before we enter into attacks from other states. So for example, I'm walking. Well, actually right now I don't even support attacking out of walking. uh, we have to be an idle, so you don't see that problem. But I was going to show that since walking isn't flipping, um, the attack will immediately go into reverse direction, but we don't have that there yet. So we'll just ignore that issue for now. Okay, so let's just look at our game simulation top level loop or top level simulation function, right? So we handle inputs, then we update our action. This does a state transition, things like that. Then we do physics, is where we're doing flipping right now. Well, that's where we handle physics-based stuff like being knocked back and stuff. So we know the character is going to have to be flipped before physics are applied, right? And I don't know if you noticed, though, our reaction system is at the very end currently. We did that so it overrides everything. It's not actually the end of the world, even though we need a physics system update after the flipping, right? The thing is, since the reaction system doesn't get updated until after the physics system, we actually do that transition into the hit. There's no pushback yet, right? It won't be pushback won't start until potentially the next frame. Now you don't see that because we have hit stop, but what's going to happen is if we update the flip state in the reaction system, right? And once a hit stop is done, the very next frame, that velocity is going to get applied in the physics system, and then the character is going to be moving in the correct direction. Just important to think about the order of how things happen, because sometimes you can have same frame priority issues. The general rule is if something is executed later in the frame, it has priority. So because it's overriding any state that was written to, any memory that was written to earlier on in that frame or that iteration of the game simulation. Okay, hope that's understandable. Cool, so let's just jump into our reaction system loop. So you can see here we have, we set up this like reaction component state that basically says, okay, we're going to have this much hit stun, this much hit stop, this much knockback. And that gets applied in physics, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, so in our physics system, we actually apply the knockback stuff. But before the physics even get applied, we're doing a hit stop, right? Where the character like freezes and they vibrate, right? So we need to flip the character before that happens. Okay, we also need to demonstrate, first we're going to demonstrate where it's not working, and then we're going to correct it and have it work. So how are we going to do that? Well, first I'm going to disable the flipping on idle, because I could like manually put them in some state that's not flipped, but just to make things a little easier to test, I'm going to disable flipping on idle, and then I'm probably going to make it flipping on walking so I can test having the character I control do that. So let's see. Let's go in there and do that real quick. So that's in our common states, right? So that's the strategy. I'm going to disable flipping on idle and add flipping to the walking state so I can control flipping. I can control flipping on the character I'm actually using with the controller, right? Okay, where's our common states? So we have this thing where it's like, what's it, flip? Yeah. So if we're not facing the opponent, so just to make things a little easier, I don't want to have this code all over the place. I'm probably going to move it to a utility file in the future, but for now I'm just going to put it here. So I'm going to call it flip to face opponent, right? This is going to be the function, and we're not going to return anything. And we just need to do what this code does, right? I just want to reuse this function multiple places potentially. So flip to face opponent. And let's see, this is what this does. So we need the context, right? So this is going to be used in the state machine, so we need the context. Well, actually, we don't need the context. We only need the physics component, right? So let's just take the physics component. So I'm going to name it like this. And it's going to be, what is the type? I always forget the name of the type. Is that in our game state? Is the physics component? Is that where we put it? Oh no, we have a component file, right? Yeah. Okay, it's just physics component. So it's gonna have to be type blah 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 blah. Okay. And in our common states, did we import? Okay. Just to make things a little easier, I'm going to import components. It should be, what's the relative folder of this? Oh, let's just do import. It's under, it's our top level, right? So it should just be component.zig, right? Okay. And then we can just do, it should just be component.physics component. Should be the type. Okay, and that's going to be, because this is Zig, this should be const, right? We can't modify it. So we're going to actually have to make it a pointer to physics component. Okay. And in Zig, we don't use any special pointer syntax to dereference. And I'm just going to replace all these with this. There's probably a multi-select thing here, but I'm just going to be lazy. Okay. Okay, then we have that. And then I should be able to find that place where we're flipping, right? Get rid of this code. Pass in a pointer. Whoops, I need to pass in the pointer, the physics component. And I'm just going to go ahead and just delete this. Oops. I probably don't even need to comment that because it's such an obvious name for a function. See if there's any errors there. Oops, there is errors. Use undeclared a different content. Oh, context. Okay. Did I specify the wrong file? Error unable to load action states component. Oh yeah, so it needs to be at the top level. Oh, what? 71? Oh, this is already a pointer? Okay, so that should work. Yeah, that's already a pointer because we are modifying it. Got it. Okay, so let's just see if that works real quick on our idle at least. Not on walking, but then idle works. It does work. So let's just comment that out from idle real quick, and then we're going to add it to our walk forward. Okay. Okay. So it should flip on our side, but not theirs. Yep, there we go. And you can see how when I hit, they go the wrong direction. They're not flipping. So what I want to do there is show that we can flip the character and have them go the opposite direction. Okay, so basic premise of this is we're going to go into our reaction system and do it here. I don't have a particular spot I need to do it here. So this is where we're setting up the transition, right? And the transition's happening in the next frame. One thing we potentially do, there's like two places where we really could put this logically. We could put it in the reaction state itself. So when you enter the reaction, you could flip, right? That's fine until we start adding multiple kinds of reactions, and then we're gonna have to have some kind of common start on start. So I start thinking about this. So then we have some kind of like common on start thing, right? So I think it's something I actually talked about getting back to at a certain point. I probably should have wrote this down, but our transition doesn't happen until the next frame currently, which is actually true for many games. If you've looked at like Guilty Gear or like King of Fighters or something, at like even Street Fighter, I think if you look at it on a frame per frame basis, the actual reaction doesn't start until the next frame. Like you'll see a hit spark happen, and both characters will be still in their current state, and then one will flip over. I really wish I had the emulator set up with frame stepping so I could demonstrate that. I might do that at some point. But yeah, Actually, for Fearless Knight, I didn't do that. I set up like a secondary reaction transition after the reaction system. Set up everything here, and then so that you can get it the same frame. Now there's good argument for showing one frame of hit when things connect, just to give you a little more clarity on like what happened, because sometimes the reaction sprite or the reaction pose, the silhouette doesn't really match, doesn't really overlap the attack, right? So sometimes a character will get hit like leaning this far forward, or their limb gets hit, and boom, they get knocked back, and now it looks like you didn't hit them. Some people, if you play a lot of fighting games, you probably notice things like that. So I mean, there's an argument either way, I think, too. But for now, we'll just leave it like this, and we won't flip. So the consequences of flipping them right here is when the actual hit occurs on this frame, the detected hit occurs this frame, the character will flip if I put it here, right? But they won't be in the reaction state yet, so it might look wrong. So, what are we gonna do? Well, the first thing I'm gonna do is, we just made this utility function. I'm gonna put it somewhere else, right? We have it in, where is it? It's in our common states, right? So I'm gonna take this out here. And not the best place to put it. Did we make yeah, we made a utility. We only have a math utilities file right now, right? We have a common zig. That's yeah, we can use common. Oh, did I use this common get vulnerable boxes anywhere? Okay, anyway. Let's just see real quick that if I imported common zig in other places. No, I've not imported common zig. So I'm kind of afraid of using this file, so I forgot the purposes of this one. Did I even submit this thing? I guess I did at a certain point. Okay. What do we do? Well, okay, let's just put it here. So flip the face opponent. Let's make that public. Hopefully this will compile. Let's go back to our component real quick. Not component. Let's go to our common states and update this function. So, and then we have to do something like const. Let's just do common import. This is because of utility functions that we use all over the place. So we have flip to face, flip to face, and we need to add the prefix there, right? Oop, oop, oop. Oh, that's because I didn't import it there. So that's my bad. Back to common. What else? Import a file outside package path. Oh yeah, because it's not the same. Oh, yeah, it's on the same directory level. Okay, so that should work. Character should flip when I walk past. Okay, great. Cool, so I can reuse that function in our reaction system. So let me show you this. Just to demonstrate that, let me include common real quick. And then let's do this real quick. At the very end, let's do flip to common dot flip to face opponent. Oops, so we need to do this. Okay. And here. Because this is a loop of all the hit events. So on each hit event, we'll make sure it flips to face the opponent. And we need to pass in do we have the physics state. I don't know if we have it here, but let's just, for demonstration purpose, let's try it. Physics components, and we have defender ID. So hit event.defender ID. And let's give it, and this needs to be a pointer, right? Because I believe this is not a pointer. Yeah, okay. That's actually our array of physics components. So this is something I just want to demonstrate real quick. Oh, where'd it go? Unable to load common.zig, file not found. Zig project source, common, oh, not common G, just common, okay. Okay. Okay, so if we just run this in real time and I walk over here, I turn around and hit, it works, right? It clearly works, but let's frame step it real quick. Whoops, yeah, let's frame step it real quick. So let me turn on hitboxes to make things a little clearer. I hit F2. Whoops. Okay, whoops. Okay, that works. Cool. Let's do it again. So I'm holding the attack button and pressing the step key, which is F2 in our tool. Do you notice as soon as I hit them, they're not in reaction yet, right? This is not reaction state, but they flipped. Well, the problem is we don't actually have a clear reaction, I guess. That's so it doesn't look wrong at the moment, right? But let's just move the flipping, right? Let's just move the flipping real quick into back to our common states, our reaction code. So we have a reaction here. So on start, we're just gonna on all reactions currently, we're going to flip to face opponent, and we have our context. I think it's context.physics here. Context dot physics component. Okay, so it should work in the same way, except we have a 1 frame delay on hit before the flip. I could update the textures look a little more obvious for a reaction. Actually, we don't have a reaction animation yet, so that's something I could do for just to demonstrate it. You know what I'm talking about here, because right now it's not that obvious. Okay, what is taking so long for the start? It's weird. Let's do it again. What did I break? What the heck? What's going on? Why is it taking so long to start? Maybe I have an instance of the game and it's just not wanting to create the window or something. Hold on. Let me look here. That's really strange. Come on, why are you breaking all of a sudden? What did I change? Did I accidentally add something to the main loop that keeps the window from starting up? So the old textures, everything started. Normally, what happens after that? It's failing to load. I wonder if something has a handle to the files that we're trying to open, and it's just not letting me open it. Hold on. I didn't change anything that should break. I just added this, right? Reaction system, I just imported that. Okay, nothing crazy here. So why is this suddenly not working? Let me see if there's a dangling file handle somewhere. Where is that? It's somewhere in Task Manager, right? It's like Open Resource Monitor, that's right. I've seen this before. So I'm just not going to show you what's running on my computer. There's a way to show file handles. I'm trying to remember. It's a disk? Yeah, here it goes. Okay. Yeah, something is accessing. What's this? Hold on. Yeah, something is going on here. What? Yeah, something has, well, you know what? Let's just close Visual Studio real quick. Rerun it. Hopefully we'll get lucky and this works. Wasn't really hoping for this kind of thing to pop up, issue to pop up. What is happening? Okay, we're gonna have to set a breakpoint in the main loop because I don't know what's going on with this. I don't have any breakpoints, right? No. Where are we at? Let's look at the call stack. We're failing to knit joysticks? Is that what's going on? Yeah, we're stuck here trying to start. Is the input device the problem? Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna unplug my joystick. And it's still on. Did it sync up through something else? Huh. What's wrong? Okay. Yeah, it's interesting the joystick prevented. Yeah, just stop working. Hold on. I might have to turn it off and back on again. It's like a wireless device. There we go. Well, that's not a hoot. Like another joystick, I guess. Not joystick, but controller. This should work. That one's a little dusty, but. Are you gonna work? No, you're not gonna work? Okay, let me try the PS5. I hope my USB driver didn't crash or something. Is my PS5 controller gonna work? Nothing's gonna work. I don't think I have my Xbox controller in here. Crap. Well, that sucks. What the hell happened? Why is everything... Is it Steam? Oh, Steam running. Oh, they do have Steam running. Steam, you can go away right now. I don't know if that's interfering with anything. Sometimes it does, though. What the heck? Did this wire just die? Okay, let's try it again. I have to find another USB-C. Let me try this other USB-C cable I have. Yeah, well, that's not great. That wasn't a fun part. I didn't want this interfering with the dang stream. Ah! That's absolutely the worst. I've had this problem. It might just be this PC or whatever. Yeah. It's not detecting any USB devices at the moment. Oh, okay. What can we do? Let's see if I can get USB to work. Not USB, Bluetooth to work real quick. If that doesn't work, let's What are you synchronizing to? Are you syncing to my Switch? You're syncing to something. Yeah, I think it's trying to sync to some other Bluetooth devices in my phone. No. Yeah, this is an 8-bit toe controller. I don't know, but it's synced right here. You can see. I don't know what it's syncing to, because I don't see it synced to my PC at all. Is my Switch on? It's not synced to that. I don't freaking know, man. Seriously, I have no clue what the synchronize to. But it looks like it's synced to something. Okay. Okay, well, that's kind of derails our stuff a little bit, but all right. What we're gonna do is for now, I'm gonna do a quick fix, adding support for where are we at? Let me open our game folder real quick. Game real quick. So you know, have we have our input stuff here, right? Oh, somewhere we have it somewhere. Yeah, there we go. We have our input stuff here. Let's just we're going to switch. We're going to add controls for keyboard real quick for testing this. So we don't even need this. So we have all this stuff checking pad. We have a keyboard. I have keyboard functions here somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Where is that at? Okay. So I'm just gonna just fix this real quick by doing this. Sorry, got distracted out of nowhere, and we just need key. I think it's key W. I think, yeah, let's assume it's key W, and then we need key D, and then we need key A. This is kind of standard, and then key. It's right, yeah. Oh, that's D. Sorry, this should be key S for down, and then this should be key attack. Let's make attack J for now. That should work. I mean, it might be lowercase, but we'll give that a shot real quick. Okay, it must be lowercase w, right? Oops. Let's just test it real quick. Is that not what it is? Okay. Hold on. I thought it was that. Sorry. How do I go? I have to find all the references to this. Oh, it's key underscore. Got it. Gotcha. That's the problem. It needs to be key. Oops. Just gonna paste that in here. Okay. Just a quick fix for so that we can continue on. And it because we're probably resetting input state here somewhere each frame. That's right. So let's do else real quick here, because we have no. This is like a backup to our joystick problem for now. Really? I think it does think we have a joystick plugged up, so let's just not do that. Since it's a temporary fix, I'm commenting this all out. Okay. Even then, it's not fixing it. Hold on. I know we reset our input state every frame. Oh, yeah, I know the problem. Sorry. It's not is key down, not pressed. That's the problem. Okay. We're checking each frame if the value is true. Okay. Right. Not if it has a positive edge, which is going from state of not being pressed to being pressed. Okay, so that works now. And attack's doing that, of course, but we could easily just we haven't handled positive edges in our input code yet, so it's something we'll do later. Okay. Okay. There we go. So we can work now. So coming around here, we attack. Oops, I need to walk forward. Okay. So you check this out. So now it's kind of hard to see, but I turn on. It's probably easier to see this way. So now that I put flipping on the start of the state instead of at the reaction system, we get a 1-frame delay before they flip. Since there's already a 1-frame delay before we go into the reaction, it syncs up. You can see the hit stop just started and they haven't flipped yet, right? We're showing the hit stop effect of oh, sorry, yeah, drawing the hitboxes are not flipped yet. I didn't do that. I was intending to do that, never got around to it. But you can see the character isn't flipped yet. The first frame of hit stop. Next frame, they flip. Okay. Demonstrate again. Hit stop starts, as you can see. Same frame, the active hitbox shows up, because we actually do the collision check first, and then we run the reaction system, which applies the hit stop, and the hit stop is the cause of this shake, which has rendered that frame. And then they flip. And, yeah. So that's the basic premise of it. So you kind of have two choices whether or not you want to start the flip before or after. My suggestion is you only flip when you actually show the reaction change. Now, whether or not we should be doing the reaction change this frame as opposed to the next frame, it's kind of up to you. I will say a lot of fighting games do delay the reaction activating it for 1 frame. That is, the frame the collision is detected doesn't. So if you pause on the frame that the collision is detected in many games, many older games, you will not see the reaction start. You'll see hit stop. You'll see hit spark. You'll see the effects of a hit stop. It will start the same frame, but the reaction will not activate until the next frame. Now, in my game, Fearless Knight, it's the opposite. I do have the reaction starting the same frame, but it just really depends how you want to do things. It doesn't affect frame data either way, if it's something you're considered, because the frame data only counts from the time you're actually, because both characters are frozen at that point, right? But anyway, yeah. Again, that's just a design decision. It's going to depend on what your design pillars or your goals are for your game. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, at one level you can say it shows you what they're doing in their hit, but honestly, it's just 1 frame. You're not going to see the difference between, the frame you're just on, right, where they got hit, and then the next frame in real time. If you really wanted players to see where they're hit, you would have to have some kind of initial pause and then go into reaction. But I just don't think that looks very good. It doesn't feel right. Some games I think do that kind of thing though. There'll be an initial hit in their current pose, and then they'll go off into the thing. Again, it really depends what your design goals are. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other is right, but yeah, just you should have, this is in your general design trade-offs. These are things you've got to think about. Okay, so that's the basic idea. For now, I'm going to leave the flipping on there. And just so I don't forget it real quick, I'm going to go in and add flipping back to the idle animation. We had disabled it, sorry. Where was it? I need to close that. Yeah, it's in our common states, right? Oops, yeah, someone's going to enable that again. So we have idle flipping again. And we're just going to go ahead and add this to walking back as well, since it is a looping state as well. How are we doing? Good. We're doing pretty good on time. If there's anything in questions or discussion people want to bring up, let me know. Oh yeah, 62. It needs to be common. Did I copy paste that? I probably got multiple errors. Okay. So we should be able to like flip now. Yep. Well, it's kind of weird looking because we're both flipping at the same time. What I really need to demonstrate is jumping over. I don't know if you don't notice, we don't actually have a forward jump yet, so I can't really demonstrate that very well. Forward jump is something we could implement not in not too much time, but I'm gonna avoid doing that today. But yeah, we can see when we flip, we of course we don't need to flip the character, but yeah. But yeah, that's basically what I want to cover there. Since we're kind of done with that, I'm going to go ahead and just mark it off in our planning document. Okay. Oops. Okay. This is the only thing I had on the docket specifically for September, but you notice we had a lot of stuff planned for July, never got to. I kind of got coronavirus and things like that. I had to renew my visa, a lot of stuff I had to get taken care of. So apologies for that. Yeah, we don't have any launch. We don't really have launch reaction or launch physics. So let's go put that in our list of things to do in September. So that we can actually start doing juggles and things like that. Okay. We can do input buffer. Do we want to start input buffer this month? I kind of want to focus on reactions for now. So what other kind of reaction stuff do we have? So we don't have a block reaction and block stun. So I want to do that this month. Maybe we can do knockdowns. Maybe we add hit properties instead of a starting point. Let's just put this all in. Yeah, because it was originally in our July plans. So yeah, this is going to be nice. We're going to actually have hit properties, which determine how much hit's done and things like that. Knockdowns, so the character actually gets swept, and they'll have to go through this sequence of waking up so we can learn how to do those like fixed sequences that are determined by the state machine, or a sequence of states that have to one have to happen after the other. Let's see. I think we already supported this. Return the idle state when the timer exceeds the action time and non-looping animations. I'll double check that. This is something I do want to do, but I probably won't do this month. I might just do this on my off time, making sure the assets load through streaming and not through a fixed size buffer, so that we can have larger assets that we load in. Input buffer again, it's gonna be in October. Yeah, so we need to have this is gonna be part of the input buffer, so we support negative edges. So let's just do this, like put this on our October plans. I think let's get rid of this because it's just kind of like, yeah. So October plans for now is input buffer related stuff. I've already supported this, so I'm just gonna take that away. Support 2 input devices to control the 2 characters. So yeah, we need to go ahead and do this. So that's going to be very useful for this month. Whoops. Actually, I'm gonna use this because I need to do it to test trades. So you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do that probably next time. Maybe I'll do it offline. I don't know. Let's see. This is not gonna happen at the moment. We do have hot reloading now, so we can just adjust hitboxes on the fly. Yeah, hit trades, that's going to happen this month, hopefully. It needs to happen after this. Okay. Let's see. So this is unknown time in the future, some of this stuff. So This is like our original. I was originally gonna start doing networking stuff in October. I don't think that's gonna happen. Kind of lost a month and a half, unfortunately. Yeah, and this is like the old stuff, right? Don't know what's gonna happen either. So this is probably gonna be October or November. Okay. Let's just go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let me just go ahead and put this stuff for these months. These I'm gonna have to figure out where I want to put these. Yeah, this is also kind of like, when is this gonna happen? I don't know. So, well, this is gonna have to happen in October. Input history buffer stuff. So, that's the same thing. So I'm just gonna name it that. Let's see. That's gonna go here as well. Wait, what did I mess up here? Yeah. So yeah, special input support, training mode stuff. Like this is. We'll do this in October as well because it goes along with the input buffer stuff. Okay. Camera tracking. I do want to do that sometime soon, but I'm just going to put it off on here. I think I already did this, so this works. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. Movement states and transitions. We did a lot of this. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this. That's going to be higher priority than this stuff, probably. Yeah. But this is for training mode. I don't know if we're going to get to this year, honestly. Debug tools I do want to have, but we've already have some of them in, like hitbox display and frame step. I think I already supported. Oh yeah, I need to support this as well. So this is going to happen this month. We need to finish hit stun stuff. So let's get there. Action timeline doesn't terminate for turning on hit stun well. So that's going to be next time for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We're about 50 minutes in here. I did a little bit of planning for the future, so you all can see what we're going to be doing. Yeah. Well, this is not going to happen in November. Well, maybe it will. Yeah, we'll see. Cinematics. Nah, not going to happen here, probably. We'll put that off somewhere. I'd rather do camera tracking. Honestly, camera tracking, November is going to be much better. Maybe October, if we get around to it. Okay, this is kind of just like whenever, I don't know, it's not very high priority at the moment. Okay. I think I already supported this, so I can get rid of this right here. Okay, great. Well, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask. If not, I'll be shutting off the stream here just in a few minutes. I'll give you all a little bit before I just go ahead and end it. Well, if there's really nothing that anybody wants to bring up or talk about, it's fine. As always, thanks for dropping by. I appreciate everybody who comes in and participates in the chat, asks questions, or contributes in any way. I know it's late for many of you out in the States, early as heck for anybody out in Europe. But if you're out here in Japan or the rest of Asia, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. If not, get some sleep. Sleep is important. Stay hydrated. I know it's hot out there in a lot of places, especially out there in California. Well, yeah, that's going to be it for me. Again, thanks for dropping by. Hope you see you next time. Until then, peace.